So, Mabel Hefty, she was your friend out in Hawaii who was a teacher, correct?
Yeah, Mabel Hefty was a Kanoho teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and she was a fifth grade teacher who had taught Barack Obama in her fifth grade class.
Okay.
But she had taken 1 year sabbatical, had gone to Kenya to teach in Kenya. So she had taught young men that could have been Obama's father's age. So that's why he said in one of his comments that Mabel Hefty was his favorite teacher.
Um, Now, when Uncle Bob was born, how was the medical staff as far as treating you and Grandpa when Uncle Bob was born?
There was the medical staff,
Mm-hmm. And doctors, nurses.
but his obstetrician was Chinese. I mean, it's not obstetrician. But then he was, the parent doctor was Chinese. But there's, in Hawaii, most of the professionals are Japanese or Chinese or Caucasian.
Yeah. How did the neighborhood react when you brought Uncle Bob home for the first time?
What?
How did the neighborhood react when you brought Uncle Bob home the first time from the hospital?
Well, that was before we moved out there.
Okay. Okay. And after Uncle Bob was born, you didn't really work that much, did you?
I worked
At the restaurant.
at the restaurant,
Okay.
and my mother-in-law kind of babysitting when I.
Okay. That was where I was going. Okay. So, there's that. Okay.
So he and his grandmother were very close.
Now, when let's see here, where were you when the attack happened on December 7th?
December 6th, it was a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So we kept our restaurant open until midnight. So it seemed like I had only gone home and gone to bed when my sister-in-law was waking me up. She said, "We're at war, so you better get up." And I said, "Oh, we've heard planes before." I said, "Just maneuvers, just know it's the real thing." So I got up and not prepared for the formulas or milk for the baby or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because by that time he was about over 11 months old. So I remember when across the street there was a little mama and papa store. And I swear in 5 minutes while I was there, everything on the shelf was sold.
Hmm.
So after December 7th, I don't know how soon after, but we had to put blackout curtains in the windows. There was a curfew hour. We couldn't go out. There was a shortage a number of things. Shortage of butter, shortage of toothpaste. Only time we could buy toothpaste, we had to turn in the empty tube.
Right, yeah.
I guess they needed it for aluminum or something. The shortage of gas. And during the war, my husband was frozen to the job. He volunteered for the 100th Battalion, but was turned down and was told to do your fighting on the home front. So everybody in our job was frozen to the job, but he was frozen to the job.
Well, on the restaurant during the war, um, did the military pay for the food, or how did that work
No.
out?
Oh, and food was hard to get. So I know many a times he got up early and went to the black market to get food, sitting in the restaurant.
Right.
And there was an interesting thing. We had a lot of service people coming in. We had sailors and soldiers and merchant marines and defense workers. And then there was a time when we had to have a permit to buy liquor. So I had my mother-in-laws and father-in-laws and my sister-in-laws, my husband's and mine had 5 permits. That's the only time we ever went out and bought liquor. I forgot whether it was every month or every whatever. And we were giving them to our special service people. We had a group of boys, young boys, that were on a submarine. And on their shore leave, they used to come in early in the morning, have breakfast with us. Then they'd go out and come back and have lunch. And then at closing time, they would come in, pick up the mop and broom and help us clean up. And they were dating some of our young waitresses.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one young man that we were quite fond of. He had had some kind of a medical. He had been in the hospital. He wasn't on the submarine at that time. And one day he came in. The submarine had gone down and never came back up. And they were the nicest group of sailors that we had done business with.
No, the sailors in the submarine that used to come in the morning and that helped out at night. Their submarine went down.
None of the boys from that submarine. So this one surviving sailor came in to tell us that they all had died.
So Mabel Hefty, she was your friend out in Hawaii who was a teacher, correct?
And Mabel Hefty